Welcome back to the shooting channel, and today we're going to do a film because a lot of people have been asking about how to clean a semi-auto shotgun properly. And this is the basic kit that you need to clean your semi-auto shotgun. You can buy any decent cleaner kit from any decent shooting ground, shooting school, gun shop, whatever. The only thing you can't get from it is a toothbrush. So get yourself an old toothbrush. So these are the things you need to do. This is something we made up. This is something my father made up. It's a lot easier to use. It's a ratchet, and you can put that on there. An oily rag, it doesn't want to be dripping in oil. It wants to be lightly oiled. If you get a clean one, just sprinkle a little bit of oil on it so you can do it. Don't just get a duster out underneath the kitchen surface and just put it over there. You need to make sure it's got a lightly oil on it. And then your brushes. Again, you can have as many brushes as you want. These are the two really that I feel is what you're going to use every time. This one you go through it first. This one you go through it afterwards to polish it. And then your gun oil. So that is your basic kit that you need. The only other thing I would add to this is I would add a tube of grease. And then you put some grease in here every now and again. It doesn't have to be every time, but if you put a tube of gun grease on all the moving parts, it just keeps it going. So the first thing we want to do is obviously we check it's empty and we make sure that the breech is open. We unscrew the fore end like that, and we take the barrel off. Now basically with a semi-auto, all the moving parts has got to be lightly oiled and just cleaned completely off. So the first thing that generally I will do is I shut the breech, I spray a little bit of oil on the metalwork like that, and again just a little bit. I take this off, so I take that off and I take that off. And the first thing I do, make sure you do not lose that spring, is I clean all of the metal work, and I'll also get in all around the little bits with a toothbrush like that, and in all the threads with a toothbrush, and then I clean it off with my oily rag. And then I put a little bit of oil on all of the metal work, and again I scrub it clean with my toothbrush, and then I clean it off with my oily rag. And again, same thing with this, little bit of oil. Again, a little piece of oil is really where you want to be looking at. You don't want loads of oil on it, because all you'll end up doing is getting oil drained down into the wood, and you just land up having loads of gun oil on it. So that is that. And then with the barrel, again, I generally put a little bit of oil on here, and I brush it like that, and then I put my rod through here, and then I put this through there. And with the semi-auto, I generally will also polish this with my toothbrush just to make sure this is all clean, because the moving parts of a semi-auto, it's got to be clean to make it work properly. And then move that like that, and if you look down it, you can see that it's clean down there. And then what I will do is I take the choke out of it. Again, you don't need to take the choke out of the gun every single time you clean it. You should clean the gun every single time you use it. You don't need to take a choke out every single time. You just need to take a choke out every now and again. If you don't take it out every now and again, the choke will weld itself in there. So that comes out like that. Again, I put this down just to clean the threads out. and then put this like that. And then I generally will put a little bit of oil on the thread of the choke, and again with my toothbrush I'll clean all the threads out like that, and then I put that round like that, and I clean the choke so the threads are clean. And you want to do this probably every couple of months. If you use it quite a lot, every couple of months. You can do it every time, you don't need to do it every time. And then I screw that back in there, make sure that's right. Like that. And when you tighten the chokes up, you don't need it really tight, you just need to do it. You just need to do it tight-ish, basically, like that. And then I put it all back together again, like that. And then I put the barrel back on to there, like that. And then before I put the fore end on, I generally will just have a wipe over it with my oily rag. Just to wipe over all of the metal work with my oily rag like that. All over the metal work like that. And then that goes back on like that, and then I screw that up like that. And then again, because I've just done it, I would just literally go over the whole thing like that. And then when I put it back together again, I always do that a couple of times just to make sure everything is back together. That is a good basic way of how to clean a semi-auto. Again, I can go over that, over the stock woodwork if it gets muddy, but generally I don't really have to. But that is a good way of cleaning all the moving parts of a semi-auto. And I'm going to be completely honest, it is more important to make sure a semi-auto is clean majority of the times when you use it, because the moving parts is the bits that make the semi-auto work. And the other thing I would recommend is, if you haven't had your semi-auto serviced, have your semi-auto serviced a regular time, once a year, twice a year, because the last thing you want to do when you go out and shoot it is make sure any of the moving parts, they don't break when you're out shooting them. Again, an over and under or a side by side, you service it once a year. Unless you're shooting a lot of shells like the Olympic shooters do, then it's twice a year. But a semi-auto, I would probably service it twice a year if you're using it. And a service is roughly, from any decent shooting school or gunsmith, is roughly £100, £125. Any information on anything you've seen in this programme, please comment below. If you think I've missed anything out of how to clean a semi-auto, please comment below, and Alex or myself will do our best to get back in touch with you or comment and help you out. I hope you've enjoyed this programme. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.